What we have noticed throughout our trips is that some of the building materials we have come by are immensely more expensive than the rest. They are oddly so much more expensive to use in restoration or construction works compared to their newer and imported counterparts. And this felt like an unexpected thing we've discovered. As we started looking into why this was happening, it became obvious that the reason is more about the demand for these materials rather than their face value. A lot of the areas in and near Wales are conservation areas, so any construction or restoration project in the area is meticulously scrutinized. There are very specific requirements regarding what materials can be used in order to protect the area, especially near Brecon Beacons National Park. Reuse of materials is encouraged in all the conservation policies, but demolition is not. This creates a vast material shortage for works to be done on local buildings. Once the original materials become incredibly rare to come by, their price significantly increases, which puts reclaimed materials out of reach for most people's budgets. This creates a market for an alternative solution, which are the old-looking new materials. These materials can also pass through the conservation policies as they protect the overall appearance of the area. However, the way the conservation policies are shaped aims to protect the buildings and increase the reuse of building materials. But in a way, it does exactly the opposite. The small amounts of quarrying is allowed in most areas, but isn't encouraged. Neither is demolition, so it becomes tricky to actually find original materials to use. This creates a significantly bigger ecological impact instead of actually conserving the nature and architecture of the park and the surrounding areas. While the policy is trying to conserve, it does have a destructive impact with the unintended consequence of increasing the value of materials. So the contradiction between the conservation and the demolition policy makes the materials rare and less accessible, which increases their price. So we have visited two companies near, one was inside and one was at the border of Brecon Beacons National Park. Merthyr Reclamation, who focuses on stone near Brecon Beacons National Park, is one of the biggest suppliers of this piece, the blue pennant stone, which is one of their offcuts. And this is something that they sell mostly to the Bristol region, and it's one of the most valuable things that they have, as they're one of the biggest suppliers that can actually find this material and reclaim this. It is also, it's used mainly as paving stone and flagstones, and the other place we visited is Gallup's Architectural Salvage, which is actually located inside Brecon Beacons, which actually was founded to supply materials to conserve. And what they had, which was the only place that they had red and green sandstone, which the red sandstone here and the green sandstone, which we have here, are both the material that was used for roofing before slate in Wales. And out of the 7 companies we visited in Wales, they were the only company that actually supplied this. And even in that, they have mentioned to us in both cases that they have a limited stock. They have a lot at the moment, but once they run out, they don't have a constant supply that they will be getting, which again refers to how rare all these materials are to find in the area. So today, when these materials were first used, they were picked because they were durable and they were useful just because of their qualities, not because of their sheer existence. Today, their value comes from the conservation policy and just for them to exist and conserve the look of something instead of their face value.